cold out here. It's another night. Another little combo with y'all while I smoke some cigarettes in the backyard. Now, tonight it took a little convincing for me to do this. So I wanted to go to bed. And then I just started doom scrolling. I was like, wait a minute, I'm not even going to bed, so might as well do this shit. You know? Tonight was a little weird. I was kind of fiending a little bit, caught myself in that. But, you know what I didn't do? I didn't fall into that. But that's besides the point. What do I want to talk about today? I want to talk about reincarnation. This is a little tricky topic for me to get across because I'm still doing research in this, so I think I'm going to make this the part 1 of it. And I don't think I'll be able to get all my ideas across to y'all in a way that'll either make sense or in a way that'll be complete. So it's going to take me a few parts to do this one, which is okay. So what do I believe by reincarnation? Well, first of all, I believe that life is a test. I believe that life is a test. And we are here to rid ourselves of sin. Which makes sense, because a lot of us have sin. Even the most holy of people, are sinful. And it's okay, I accept people for who they are. And I understand people for who they are, because I can see people's journeys. And this allows me to not really get mad at people too much, which is a good trait. And I think that you guys should all try to embody that too. Even though I can also understand why people get mad at other people, I understand it, But if we each understood each other's journeys a little bit better, in this lifetime at least, there would be a lot more love, But I also think that it is completely unfair to have our test be, on average, let's say that you die of old age or like whatever that natural cause is, around 70 or 80ish, Out of the 13 billion years that this universe has been existed, that's like not even a blink of a second, dude. That's like such a small fraction. That is such an unfair test. It's like me being the teacher, giving you guys the paper and taking away right after. Not even. That would be quicker than that. That's not a fair test. I believe that, I've talked about this in other videos, that we are mind, body, and spirit. I believe that our mind is a tool, and our body is a tool that can allow our spirit to experience and interact with this world in ways, like our senses. It lets us interact. Because I believe our souls are this, projection of divinity from our this is an interesting topic to talk about. It's a projection of this divinity from this all consciousness, super consciousness is what it's called. I believe that's what we are, this projection. We are not, and we live different lives. The sooner you understand that, the sooner you lose the fear of death, because you realize we're all gonna die, and that's the root fear of all fears, by the way. Unless you're scared of fucking people talk about you, then which is a completely understandable thing to be afraid of. I was afraid of it for a while, but it's not something you should continue to be in fear. And at least after this video, really try to not be scared of what other people think or say of you, because who the fuck care, bro? There's 7 to 8 billion people. Someone's bound to fuck with you. But back to reincarnation. I believe that we have multiple life cycles and we're given the ability to either ascend or descend. And it is completely up to us how we choose that, you know? We're given the choice to go back up to our God, to God, to the super consciousness, or to fall down to the devil and fall down to materialism and stay in this world. And it all has stuff to do with quantum physics and the dimensions, which maybe I'll talk about in like the part 2, because that's a lot more than I need to do. I need to figure out my words to say all this shit too. And you know, you can kind of feel it as a spirit. I see it in others that some are more mature at a younger age, some are less mature at an older age. This is just up to the spirit and how it wants to act, how it wants to develop, out of how it feels, how you want to confront those fears, you know? So on this earth, our test, we have multiple life cycles to kind of grow and develop. And this is where the saying, oh, you're an old soul, comes from, you know, like, you're an older soul. Now, does this mean it's a good thing or a bad thing? It's neither, first of all. But it just means that you've been in this world for a little bit longer. And I also believe that some souls have chosen to come down here to try and help others. I believe that's what my soul is. But I also know that I have to learn a few things, you know, here and there. I'm not the perfect person by any means. I mean, if you compare my lifetime to a lot of your lifetimes, you'd say that I'm a worse person. At least most of you would probably say that. But a lot of people kind of get stuck up in this cycle, and it is up to you to break that cycle. I don't want to go too in depth on reincarnation right now. I kind of want to more talk about, actually, just a brief overview of my beliefs on it, and then I can go more in depth in other parts based on what your questions are in the comments, or maybe how my opinion changes in the future, or maybe if God tells me in my prayer what I should and shouldn't say, you know? It's all up to those factors, really. But I believe that we are given the choice to break this cycle, and we should try to choose in this lifetime, because this lifetime we remember. We remember right now, we remember the past, we remember the future. We are not these fourth dimensional souls who are not bounded by time, you know, so they have infinite memory. But we're these three-dimensional beings who are bound by physics and time. So we do have memory, and we do forget, you know? We don't remember everything. So, what I want to say right now, I guess, I'm going to keep this a shorter video. You are able to break this cycle in this lifetime, and you are able to go to heaven when we all die. I believe that you will be there. Hopefully I'll be able to see you, hopefully. And maybe you guys all have, maybe some of you guys also will be able to have the empathy and the willingness to try and help others, which might cause you to return back down here. Who knows? But I do know one thing. Each soul is a beautiful, beautiful thing. And even the ones who act really evil, jeez, that scared me, I thought I heard a knock. Each soul is a beautiful thing and being, because when you turn to God, the super consciousness, it's this one flowing state of just consciousness which all mixes and collides. The sooner you realize that you are no different than the person right next to you, you've just had different experiences that have shaped your life into becoming what you are now, then you will realize that you should love your brother or sister next to you and try to love yourself the same way as God intended us to, as it is written in the Bible. And honestly, like, I believe like every spiritual text, you know, or every religious text kind of states that, like, you should love yourself and you should love the people around you. So that's like a brief overview. of kind of my beliefs on reincarnation and all of that shit. It's a very, very different thing than what I think a lot of people are used to. It's really rooted in Hinduism, Buddhism, the idea of Krishna. I believe I'm getting the pronunciation correct. If not, I'm sorry. But I urge you all to just think about this a little bit, you know? Don't agree with me, maybe. But just think about it. Try to feel. Instead of try to think, try to feel. Try to do that, you know? It doesn't hurt to try. And it doesn't hurt to... You have so many moments, like billions of moments in a lifetime. I mean, I don't even know how to, like, quantify a moment. You know, because, like, what makes a moment? Is it 0.0001 second or the 1 second? You know, like, I don't even know how to quantify it. Infinite moments, even, I guess. An abundance. Once you realize you have an abundance of time, you can kind of start to do things with that time. You can become a creator, just like God is. He's the creator of all life, of all beauty. And you can start to become a creator. So, I guess there's not much else to say. I really respect y'all for watching this all the way through, if you did. I love y'all. God bless y'all. Have a great night or day or whatever. Bye.